Hi, this is James Peters from Whistler, British Columbia, where I am a CADS or Canadian Adaptive Snow Sports instructor and trainer for that program in Whistler. Here we are just looking at Three Tracker, who's obviously done a lot of work to be able to A, just stand up, but B, obviously be able to ski with some sort of control down what looks like sort of a green, maybe easy blue run. What I'm hoping to do in this little video that we're doing is look at how we can refine the skier a little bit. And that's really what step 6 of our progression is. So let me stop this for a second and we'll just do a quick review. Over here we've got the CAD ski progression, and then right next to it I've laid out the CSIA, or the Canadian Ski Instructors Alliance progression as well. And you'll see that they're very similar, but we try and break it down just a little bit more granular in CADs because we find that it helps with some of our students as we're working through some of their abilities or disabilities. So in line 1 we have equipment, which is just sort of introducing your student to all the ski equipment or specialized equipment they might be working with. Basic mobility, funny, that looks exactly like the CSIA. Then we have gliding, and that looks just like the CSIA. So that's really just kind of gliding in a straight line, coming to a natural stop because we picked really safe terrain to do that. Then in CADs we have individual turns. CSIA calls that direction change. Link turns, I would also call that direction change. And then the step 6, which is turn progression and beyond, or what CSIA called speed management. And that's really those last 2 steps in both progressions, is being able to develop your athlete further along so they understand more of the mechanics of their body as well as the ski and how that interacts with the snow so they can explore more of the mountain. If we look at what this really all comes down to, this is the order in which we teach stuff. And then next we have, in CADs, we have the 5 skills. And this is the stuff that we're going to teach. So we teach stance and balance, pivoting, edging, pressure control, and timing and coordination. We'll get more into that as we look at this next thing. And this is actually something that we have taken from the CSIA. And what this allows us to do, these 4 technical references, this actually allows us to look at a skier and correctly assess where their ability is and which of those 5 skills we really want to work on first to help make them be a more efficient and effective skier. So let's just review those technical references. First one, use of all joints to help balance, providing the ability to manage forces acting on the ski and skier. Basically, when I look at somebody, can I see that their lower joints in their body are all working? They are changing continually through different parts of the turn or the arc, and that we're balanced in all 4 planes of balance. So fore aft, that means front and back. Lateral, side to side. Then we have vertical, so how high or low they are relative to the snow. And then the last one is rotational. So as we're getting more advanced in skiing and we're generating different body positions, we actually have to balance our rotational forces as well. So that's that first one. We'll look at that in the video in a second. The second one is turning is led by the lower body or ski design. So when I'm looking at a skier, what I'm really wanting to see is that does the ski move first when they start their turn, or does their body do something first? And usually when I say that, usually you're looking at their upper body, sort of shoulder line, chest, whole torso. Is everything moving together, or do we see the foot ski? If it's a stand-up skier, what ends up actually being the femur rotating in the hip socket. Cool. Third one, upper and lower body separation allows for angulation to provide grip. Whew. Well, that just means a lot. Cool. So if we can get some separation or difference in angle between our upper and lower body, that upper and lower body split sort of happens at your hips. So when you're skiing at the end of the turn, can I see that the hips and everything else above it are more down the fall line than the ski and the leg, which would be pointing across the fall line? That's what separation is. Angulation comes from the bend that is created in your body there, and that helps to tip your ski over. The more your ski is tipped over, the more grip you're going to have. I know it sounds like a lot of wordy stuff, but we'll get more to that in another video. And then the last one, coordinated movement patterns direct the forces acting on the skis and the momentum of the skier from turn to turn. Whew! You know, snowboarding, Canada has really come up with a great word for this. They just go, man is the person in flow. And I love that. You know, are all the right things happening at the right time in the right sequence to get the best, most efficient, and effective ski contact and result for the skier? Cool. Tonight we're going to look at these first two. So we're going to go back to that video and we're going to take a look at our skier and think about these first two. Let's take a look here. Let me just wind this back up. So thinking about the first one, use of all joints, and are they balanced on all four planes? So looking at the skier, let's see if I can find a good plot just to stop us here. I think as we come across this turn here, let's stop right there. Cool. So I am looking at, is there a bend in the hip? So from sort of the tummy to the upper leg, do I see some sort of bend? I do there for sure. Is there a bend in the knee? There is a bend in the knee. I don't know if it's quite as much as I would like. And then is there a bend in the ankle? And this is the one on this skier that is really missing. So because there isn't enough flexion here, there isn't enough sort of that feeling of the front of the boot, then what happens is that they end up in the back seat, or more of their weight ends up towards the back of the ski. You can kind of see that this person's derriere is directly over top of their ski binding, which isn't ideal when you see no angle here. So that's a clue to me that maybe this person could be in better balance. I'm not sure how deep your ski knowledge is, but if you have all your weight in the back as you try to start this next turn, it's going to be really tough. This kind of ski is going to be floating out here. The edges aren't going to work as well as they could. And you're going to find it hard to pivot unless you're balanced right through the middle of your foot or your boot. Let's keep looking just for a second and see if we see anything else here. So that's sort of a side angle. Now everything looks really straight. Still a little bit back. Still no angle here. Cool. And here's a really cool thing too. So with 3 trackers, and you can see this in sit skiers as well, anybody that's using outriggers, 4 trackers, see this really, really deep lines here that are happening from these outriggers? That's a clue about their balance as well. So right now, they're using these outriggers for a lot of lateral balance because they're not really even balanced over top of their ski at this point in the turn. So something needs to shift here. Also see where this outrigger is relative to this outrigger. So this one's way uphill. This one's really close to the body. So that means that their real balance right now is somewhere on the snow here-ish versus being over top of their ski or somewhere maybe just inside their boot, depending on how fast they're going. Cool. So I stopped it here for a second. So we've already addressed that there probably is some stance and balance work we could do to help the skier be more effective. And I'm going to let you come up with those drills, and you can post them on the Facebook page so that we can get ideas from each other about how you might help the student. But I stopped it here because I think we're going to be able to see whether or not this ski leads the turn. Does the foot move first, or is it the entire body? And that's that second technical reference thing we talked about. Turn is led by the lower body and ski design. Let's see. Oh, can you see that? Let me back it up here one more second. Okay. Does the foot move first or does the upper body move first? See this shoulder? That shoulder is turned in more across the mountain than the ski is already. Let's keep looking and see what happens. It even gets more. And then right there, the ski finally catches up. Oh, and look at that position now. Remember we were talking about the balance way back? So they're trying to compensate now by throwing the shoulders way over. It's still that ankle problem. Huh. So let's see if we can get another good shot here. See, now on this one, look at that. See the shoulders there? And the foot's across. So on the turn to the right for the skier, that looks much stronger than the left, doesn't it? That actually looks like that probably happened with the toe, with the foot. Well, what's actually the femur and the hip socket if you really want to get technical, but look at how you can see that ski coming across. Interesting. Let's again watch the left, see if they do another left here. See the shoulder? They've already opened up that shoulder because for that side is more challenging for them. And let's see if we see one to the right here. Oh, they're just going off to the chair. Cool. So what does that all mean? It's a great question. What does it all mean? So we've discovered we could help work on the students' balance, right? So they have some lateral balance challenges and they're not really centered over their boots, so that's that fore-aft balance. Their vertical balance is going to come in later when they get going faster. Their rotational balance is a little bit wonky too, especially on that turn to the left. Because if you really think about it, as we watch this person come to the left, let's see, well, maybe we'll see it really well here. You can see that shoulder opening, so yeah, their balance is going to be in a weird spot at the top of their turn. And then definitely theirs is coming through, and you can see that elbow sort of collapsing. So there's some balance stuff. We also know that that second technical reference, that turn is led by the lower body and ski design, happens pretty well on the turn to the left. Sorry, turn to the right. And you can see it there again, look at that. You can see it turns. But on the turn to the left, it's definitely a challenge. So here's your homework. That's how I see stuff. This is how you can see stuff. Any student that you have, before you start just teaching, let them ski a little bit. Get an assessment. Think about those first two technical references. And now what we're going to do is post this on Facebook. And I want you to come up with drills and tactics that you think would help this student for either one of those technical references. Hey, my name is James Peters from Whistler Blackcomb, CADS instructor, trainer. Hope you learned something. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.